I'm in the TT Grandstand with Keith Flint. Keith, 2 out of 2 this week. What an amazing week at the office for you.
Yeah, it's breathtaking. Nothing's set in stone at the TT. Things can always end or be won or lost in the last mile of the last lap. So when something like this is, you can only prepare as good as you can and have as good a jockey as you can, and the rest is just out there in the lap of the gods somehow. So I'm very, very lucky. I mean, the mark of our results is just definitely comes down to good preparation by the team. We try and do everything correct. I'm sure all other teams do, but we're always never cutting corners, making sure everything's absolutely right. And obviously when you're lucky enough to have someone like Hutchie on your bike, you take your responsibility really, really highly.
And since you set up this team, you've had 4 out of 4 wins. That is some record. Do you think that is the key? Is the preparation and the way you've gelled as a team together?
Yeah, I think there's we are a team, but we as much as we're as professional as we can be at all times when it comes to the racing. When the job's done, we have a laugh and we make sure we have some fun and we enjoy it. You've got to take it hugely seriously and take the responsibility seriously, but at the same time have a laugh and hang out and have a couple of beers together and just find that blend between the racing and having a good time, because when it stops being fun, you don't want it to be a job as such. You've got to enjoy it, and there's an amazing atmosphere here. You've got great fans, and the people that support it. You've got to get mucked in and have a bit of fun, I think.
What is it about the TT do you think that is so special?
God, that's really hard to summarise, I think. But I mean, first and foremost, I think it's definitely one of the, if not the greatest race that takes place worldwide. It's the ultimate test of man and machinery. A lap being 37.4 miles. And 4 of them, 6 in the senior. That in itself is just a real test for, as I say, man and machinery. But it's the history, 100 years plus of it being on every year. The mark of the people that come and ride here. I think the fact that they're as you can see, the people who are here, looking in the awning, and when Hutchie walks through, he'll be shaking his hands and signing autographs. So the riders are very touchable and very, it's and obviously when you're viewing it, you're at the trackside, with bikes going past at 100 or 150 plus mile an hour. And it's just an incredible spectacle for those that I think people could actually come here being into motorbikes and also not be, because it is just such an amazing thing to see and be a part of.
Now, as a spectator this week, listening to the 2 Supersport races, it's been absolutely phenomenal to listen to. What's it like for you as team boss when Hutchie's out there and he's leading? Is there a lot of pressure on you? Do you get nervous?
Yeah, definitely. It's as I say, because the laps are so long, it's very different to short circuit racing, because when you're in the last 2-3 laps of a race, you can sort of predict that how things are going to go. If you've got a lead of so many seconds, it's going to be very hard for the man behind to catch up, and it becomes a little bit more set in stone. But as I say, you're putting the bikes and the riders under so much pressure that you're always aware that something mechanically could happen, and the responsibility of that is massive. And even when they're halfway round and you're finishing your last lap, that 8 minutes, that 8.5 minutes is the longest 8.5 minutes of your life, and you get this kind of almost sort of superstitious feeling where you don't want to get up and go to the winner's enclosure too early, because you don't want to tempt fate somehow, and you get this kind of, as I say, this sort of superstitious sort of approach, and you just have to keep your mind on it, and sitting there watching Grant writing down all the splits and everything, and seeing times increase or slightly decrease. And so obviously if you start to see the times, the splits go down a bit, obviously you're thinking your rider's reading the boards, just slightly coming off the gas a bit, and that's probably what's happening. But at the same time, you don't want to think that your bike's slowing up in any way. So, it's quite a mixed bag of emotions. But I think that is the buzz. That is why you're here. That is what you're here to sort of be a part of. But there's immense support for Hutchie and the team. People are loving the team and sort of walking around, and people being kind enough to congratulate myself and the boys, and sort of wish Hutchie luck, or congratulate him. I've been watching this since the 80s, before DVD was invented, I'm afraid, watching it on video after roaring around the lanes on my motorbike myself. You go back with the boys and put the TT video on and watch that, and just sort of dream of being a part of it. But now, through having the bikes and the team, you're actually here. And it doesn't sort of seem sort of real somehow, and you feel very lucky, and certainly to rub shoulders with some of my own sort of personal heroes and team bosses and owners, that also you admire through the work they've done. So it's a humbling but a really exciting experience.
Now, away from the bikes, what's next for you?
Well, this weekend, Saturday, I'll be off to Switzerland and start our sort of festival sort of season. That will take us through the summer, and then we will probably just spend the next sort of 18 months picking up the territories that we haven't on our sort of last tour with the last album. And then probably back in the studio. We've got no sort of like studio plans as such, but we're always kind of in there and just seeing what's going to happen. So we'll go back in the studio, take a little bit of a break, and sort of come out and do it all again.